Outside of Georgia and Texas, there's not a team that scares me more in college football than Tennessee. And yes, I think they're scarier than Ohio State. And what blows my mind in the AP poll, or anybody that has these rankings, I'm asking you guys, why is Alabama ranked ahead of Tennessee? I don't get it. What has Alabama done that proves to you they're better than Tennessee? In my humble opinion, nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you are having a great week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. We are officially 2 weeks into the college football season if you're not counting week 0, and I don't really count that because we only had a couple of games. Although we're only 2 weeks into the season, a lot of things have already happened. Florida State somehow, someway has managed to ruin their playoff chances in a 12-team playoff. They've been a big disappointment, and most recently, I'm going to talk about it, Notre Dame, they lose to Northern Illinois. Georgia looks like Georgia. Texas, they've proved why they're one of the elite of the elites in college football. And Alabama, they've been a little shaky. When it comes to your top teams in college football, it seems like there's a bit of a gap with Georgia and Texas. I can't throw Ohio State in that mix just quite yet due to the fact they haven't played anybody, so we don't know how good they're going to be. We know they're good, but just how good, it's up in the air. As to where it stands right now, Alabama is nowhere close to being on Texas and Georgia's level. They can fix that, but for now, not putting them in that conversation. The one team I've been keeping a close eye on, and I think it should be a bigger conversation than what it is the Tennessee Volunteers. Real quick, before we get into this video, what is going on in the comment section? This was on yesterday's video, by the way, top like comment. I stopped by my local McDonald's yesterday, and I ordered a Big Mac. Little did I know, Matt was making the food and gave me a brick of Coke instead. Hashtag Matt. What? Looks like we got some replies here. Should I even check the replies? You know what? Let's do it. Part of the McDonald's surveillance video was blurred due to a massive flash from the sun shining off of Matt's head. Okay, buddy. It was blinding, but reports said he did not run this time. What are we doing? Reports also state that Matt handed out complimentary Matt B. Diddy party invitations to go at Happy Meals? What? I can't wait for the McDiddy party with Matt? No, bro, the McDiddy party is crazy. All right, we only got time for one more comment. We got to talk about some football. Okay, this one's got a lot of likes. This is from Mr. Prez. Shout out to Mr. Prez. I've been subscribed since 2019. Thank you for that, by the way. The only time Matt has acknowledged me is in 2022. I saw him at Buc-ee's after LSU beat Bama in OT. I said, "Hey, Matt." He then proceeds to rob me, beat me up, buy a fan, and leave me in the dumpster for dead. Hashtag I survived Matt B. Diddy. Wait a minute, I was there too and I was afraid to call the police to help you because he said he would track me down and do the same. Big facts? This was a big story in town that got swept under the rug. Matt B. Diddy's spin operation got him power and wealth. Now he goes unchecked. Tragic. Going back to this original comment with Mr. Prez, my attorney has told me not to speak any further on the situation, so I'm not going to do so. However, I can tell you this much. Number one, I was pretty livid after Alabama lost that game in overtime to LSU. And number two, this is common knowledge. Don't approach me after Bama loses. The night and really the day after Alabama loses a football game, I'm not a nice person. I'll just say it. I'm not going to say I turn into an animal, but I can do some crazy things, and it's just best to leave me alone. I low-key forgot about that incident since it had happened 2 years ago, and there's many more comments I wish I could read off, but unfortunately, we got to talk about football. Well, not unfortunately, but you get what I'm trying to say. I was high on Tennessee heading into the season. I feel like I've said this 1,000 times at this point, but I've been a big Nico Iamaleava fan. If you've been watching this channel, keeping up with it, you would know I said he should have been the starter last season. I don't know why Josh Heupel continued to roll out Milton. I guess it's because of experience, but it's in the past, doesn't really matter. What does matter is it's a new season and Nico's out there and he's already balling out. I can go on and on about Nico. We'll talk more about him in just a second. Let's talk about the Tennessee football team. So as to where it stands right now, your average college football fan, when they think of Josh Heupel, aka Bobby Hill, and the Tennessee football program, what do they think of first? Offense. Which I'm not mad at you if you think of offense first with Tennessee because they are an offensive football team. They score a lot of points and they're known for that. Dating back to the Hendon Hooker days, they weren't known because of their defense. They were known for scoring 40, 50 points. And that's because Josh Heupel is an offensive-minded head coach and he's one of the brightest minds in the game. And we'll talk plenty about their offense in just a second when I get back on topic with Nico. But the one thing that should really, and I mean really scare teams out there, is Tennessee has one of the better defenses in the country this year. More importantly, they have insane edge rushers, and that defense top to bottom, I mean, It's a solid group of guys. The standout edge rusher that everybody's going to rant and rave about, rightfully so, is James Pierce Jr. That guy's a monster. He is going to make a lot, and I mean a lot of money one day, but for now, Tennessee fans, you got him, so be grateful. This is the type of edge rusher you expect Alabama to have because they've been known for that the past couple of years with Will Anderson and Dallas Turner, and the list goes on and on and on. Not to say that Tennessee hasn't gotten great players over the past couple of years, even when they haven't been so hot, but this guy's like a standout. He takes our defense to another level, and what's so great about having an elite player like this is he makes it way easier for everybody else. You see, the difference with a good player and a great player is this right here in any sport. When you have a good player, you just hope they can have great days. But a great player is going to elevate others. Great players elevate others around them. It's as simple as that, and that's what he's doing on this Tennessee defense. Let's get into some of these games, though. I could care less about how bad they beat Chattanooga because it's Chatta-freaking-Nooga. Let's get into their most recent performance against NC State. If some of you saw my prediction/preview, I did preview and predict Tennessee to demolish them, and that's what they did. So I'm not shocked by this outcome. NC State maybe in the SEC goes 5-7, 6-6. As to why they were ranked inside the top 25, I have no idea. You can thank the AP nerds for doing that. They just don't know ball, man. It blows my mind every year. And don't even get me started on an AP poll rant. I haven't even seen this box score. Let's go to the team stats. Hey, why not? Tennessee, 22 first downs. NC State, 10. Tennessee had 460 total yards of offense. NC State, 143. But here's the big one. On the ground, Tennessee, 250 rushing yards, and they only allowed 39. That's one thing that gets lost, too. Last year, Tennessee had a solid run defense, and this year, it might be top 10 in the nation. You want to take a guess on how many yards per carry NC State average? 1.4. What's really frightening about this Tennessee football team is they can win a shootout. They can win a game when they allow 40 points. But now they have a really good / dare I say, great defense. Outside of Georgia and Texas, there's not a team that scares me more in college football than Tennessee. And yes, I think they're scarier than Ohio State. This might sound corny and cliche, but this Tennessee football team isn't just built to beat football teams. They're built to blow them out. And the biggest misconception about them, and it drives me crazy, is they don't want to throw the ball for 400 yards per game. Josh Heupel and that offense he has designed for Tennessee, they want to establish the run first because he believes the run is going to open up the pass, in which it does. By establishing the run, not only do you keep the defense honest, but you open up the passing game. Tennessee has really good running backs, but they've always had good running backs for years and years and years. The one thing that's held them back is lack of quarterback play because since teams didn't respect the pass, they could just put 7 in the box. Well, now when you got Nico back there, and it's why I think he takes them to another level, is teams not only respect him, but I think they fear him. Whereas last year, I mean, come on now, I mean this in the most respectful way possible, they didn't fear Joe Milton. Milton could throw the ball 80 yards in the air, but he couldn't complete a 10-yard pass. I'm not trying to talk down on him. I'm just calling an ace and a spade a spade. He hurt that Tennessee offense by not being an accurate quarterback. And also, too, one thing to throw in there is a Josh Heupel offense really thrives when the quarterback, I'm not saying you got to be a Lamar Jackson, but when he has a dual threat quarterback out there that a team also respects the run from not just the running backs, but the quarterback. Joe Milton was a statue in the pocket. He was a pocket passer. You're seeing it with Nico. He's got a little, they're not the same player, but he's got a little Hendon Hooker in him. Very good at throwing the long ball, accurate quarterback, and he can also scramble when he wants to. It is a very dangerous and dynamic offense, and they didn't even look perfect against NC State, and they put up a 50-burger. Let me show y'all something while I'm thinking about it. Last year, Tennessee, what they wound up going? 9-4, lost 4 games. Let's take a look at those 4 losses. They only put up 16 against Florida. Offense was embarrassing that game. I remember it like it was yesterday. 20 against Bama. That's not good enough. 7 against Mizzou and 10 against Georgia. Yes, they gave up 30 in all 4 of those games almost. But the point is, the offense didn't help them out. I have a hard time believing Tennessee's offense this year is going to struggle like they did last year just because of Nico. Is he going to hit some bumps in the road? Absolutely, but I think he'll also bounce back. Even against NC State, he had 2 interceptions and he didn't let it faze him. This might be the first time I've ever said this on the history of my channel. No, it is the first time. Tennessee is dynamic on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. And I'm here to tell you right now, this isn't a fluke. This is one of the better teams in the nation. And the great part about this is we're going to find out just how good they are in a couple of weeks when they go to Oklahoma. That is going to be one of the most highly anticipated games this year, and you know Josh Heupel wants to win that one. If you know, you know. If I was an Oklahoma fan, I'd be shaking in my boots. Good luck. That's all I'm going to say about it. And who knows, Tennessee might go out here, lay an egg against Oklahoma, Bama, Georgia, and have another 9-3, 8-4 season. But as where it stands right now, and from what I've seen, they look great. And what blows my mind in the AP poll, or anybody that has these rankings, I'm asking you guys, why is Alabama ranked ahead of Tennessee? I don't get it. What has Alabama done that proves to you they're better than Tennessee? In my humble opinion, nothing. And that's why I hate the AP nerds, because they're ranking these teams based off of a logo and brand, not the current team you see in 2024. In my rankings, if you are curious, I'll pop them up on the screen right here. I got Tennessee ahead of Bama. Alabama barely escaped South Florida, a non-ranked team. And Tennessee, according to the AP nerds, beats your 24 ranked team in the nation by a 40 burger. And you got Alabama right out of Tennessee. I mean, what is the logic? If you're going to have these principles, at least go by them. If you think NC State's a top 25 team and Tennessee beats them by 40, why is Tennessee not ahead of Bama? Explain it to me. I know that's a little besides the point, but I had to throw that in there. Many more things I could say. Watch out for Tennessee. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts on the Volunteers down below. But